and welcome to Tea of Life podcast. Today we have a guest. You have to actually guess who the guest is. It's a guess the guest Tea of Life podcast style video session. So
Is this not the mask that we're supposed to be wearing out? The N95? I keep calling it I-95 mask, but I think that takes you to Jacksonville, right?
if it's not the mask that we're supposed to be wearing, then I'm actually going to riot because I think that we need to wear. That is definitely the mask that will, if anything, it'll just keep everybody away from you. So I think.
Oh my gosh, can I take this off now?
Okay, so here we are. Ta-da! You ready? Introducing April Abraham. Woo!
I have been tempted just now to wear this out at the grocery store and see, it looks like it, but it's so hot.
Well, if you do that, we'll probably actually see you on Facebook pretty soon. I'm sure the people will be like, that's my friend. That's my friend.
She's not taking it seriously. Oh,
I know, right? Well, as long as you're not wearing gloves, then you're taking it seriously, right?
There you go.
All right. Well, today we're going to talk with April Abraham, and you guys know who April is. And if you don't, then shame on you. But April is one of the founders, along with me, with Tea of Life podcast. And she and her husband were huge contributors and getting the podcast off the ground. She was actually a co-host of mine for about a year and a half. And I still have an empty chair over here where she used to sit, and ready for her to come back whenever she wants. Actually, not right now because of social distancing, but we can do this more often, right? We could totally podcast out this way. So we are going to talk about a few things that she, is experiencing right now. We're in the COVID-19 coronavirus quarantine, lockdown, shut in, hunkering down, depending on where you're from. Right now in 2020, it's been crazy. April is my neighbor, so actually Zoom calling with her, is even more weird because of that. I have a few questions for April, and I think it's some of the questions that a lot of people are asking a lot of people. And I just want people to know with these videos that we're going to be doing that they're not alone. Like, that's my main focus on this, is to let people know that they're not by themselves. A lot of people are sheltered in the house, alone. The only outside or view to outside that they have is like Facebook, Instagram, which, like, tell the true story. So, yeah. And the news channels, so. But I just want people to know that they are not alone in their struggles. And there are people who are struggling a lot right now. And there are people who are actually not struggling so much. And there are people that are struggling because they're struggling. And there are people who are struggling because they're not struggling. They're struggling with the fact that they are okay. And they're like, what's wrong with me? Yeah. So I want people to hear different stories. And so we're going to be putting out different videos with different people talking. And I'm going to have the same questions for everyone. And we're just going to go through these. And yes, I did send these questions in advance to April. So these aren't going to be she doesn't have to think spontaneously. April, are you ready to answer some questions about your current experience and being shut in?
I am, and I like the fact that you sent them to me ahead of time because you know me, and the fact that I don't like to do spontaneous. So that makes it so this is good. I mean, these are answers spontaneously off my head, but not spontaneously in the moment, if that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. Go.
Okay, so first of all, I'm going to ask you, are you okay? And do you feel like you're hanging in there? Because I don't want to go any further with this conversation if you're not okay, but are you okay?
I am okay, and I do have enough toilet paper. So this is what I kind of feel a little evil for admitting this, but I feel great. Like you were saying, there's some people who are struggling because they're struggling. I mean, there's real stuff going on there. And then there's the Lord has been good here. And it's not like he's not being good to other people. But what I'm saying is I feel kind of evil for saying that I'm great. And I'm enjoying so I'm enjoying not having to shuttle the kids back and forth to school, because some days they have home days, some days they have on campus days, but I'm always going to the school. I work from home anyhow, so that's not a big change. And so with churches moving online, even the deposits are moving online. So I'm not actually having to go to the church. I mean, I'm okay. And I feel
Well, I think that's fantastic. Yeah. I think there's a lot of people out there who actually are okay. And we're hearing mostly from the people who are not okay. So it's kind of drowning out all those other people. You always see, when you hear where you see a review on Amazon or whatever, it's always the negative things that you hear. You don't hear a lot about the positive stuff going on. So, when people feel like they have something negative to share, they have something to share, and when things are going great, people don't really think about sharing that. So I just want everybody to know that not everybody is struggling. So you said that you do have enough toilet paper, right?
do.
Okay.
Which
Okay.
is experience that
Awesome. So
experience, yes.
do you have a backup plan in case you don't have enough toilet
Yes,
paper?
we have that bidet that you helped me with the plumbing the last time. That was fun.
I did. Yeah. So she does actually have a bidet.
Bidet sales now. I think, no, that's probably not true. People are not knowing that there's a bidet out there. It's like there's alternatives to toilet paper, like you're just asking. But yeah, we have toilet paper and we have a bidet.
And you actually installed that bidet way before coronavirus
Yes,
was even a thing, right?
Yeah.
Right. We have pictures to prove that.
Yeah, pictures.
All right. So I have a few more questions for you. Actually, I have a lot more questions for you. What?
But because I got them ahead of time, so can I keep going with that one?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you said, how has it changed my life in the past few weeks? So the biggest change is the stopping of the frequent grocery store trips. Like the Publix people, I mean, I was like on first name basis, BFF status with them because I was there, once or twice a day sometimes. But so that's been the biggest change. And I was thinking this morning as I actually blogged again. Like, I know you don't like the word blog, but I blogged, whatever. No, video blogging. I life articled again.
Right.
I wrote.
Yeah, I don't like the word blog.
Yeah, and I wrote this morning about how I am an ant, like A-N-T, the bug. I am an ant, A-U-N-T. But so what the biggest change is, how you have your ants and they are getting their food or whatever it is, and they're taking it back to their colony, and they're in that little line until like a twig falls or somebody steps around or squishes some. So then all of a sudden their line is broken, and they like freak out for a minute, and they go in circles, and then they go, oh, and they just go around the line. So that's kind of how I feel like I am. It's when we had to stop going out spur in the moment, or when everybody had to just shelter in place. It was like, what am I doing? And then I was like, oh, and I just got back into my normal routine. I just went around, figured out how to do, once a month shopping, or twice a week shopping. So that's the biggest change, is I just kind of rerouted and kept going. Mm-hmm. I like awesome. My ant story, and I had to tell you that. So
I like that ant story. That's a really great analogy. And like when you were explaining it, like I was totally picturing it, and I was seeing the ants actually do that right when you were talking about it. So yeah, and I can totally see you being an ant.
Yes, thank you. They're workers. Mm-hmm. But it did say upon my Google research that they're predators and scavengers. I'm not a predator or a scavenger.
Yeah, I can vouch for that. That's true. That is very true. So how has schooling at home changed for you? I know it has changed a little bit, even though you're a homeschool mom. How has that changed?
So for us, since we already had home days and on-campus days with Cornerstone, the transition was easier because our school was better equipped to handle the home days, more home days. So it's still like, I guess it's changed, as in I still teach every day Ryland's math and English, but they're home all the time. So I'm not running, like I was saying earlier, I'm not shuttling a kid to the school. Every day somebody was at the school, and every day somebody was home. But the transition has been easier because we already had home days, and because our teachers are already equipped to they just redid their lesson plans. We just carried on, like Rylan and I just carried on with our Saxon math and our well-trained mind English. We just already had those in place. So, but I did gain, because you asked, how did it change my perspective on the school system that my child attends?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you just said, but that's what your written question was.
That was, yeah.
But I wrote that, I gained a new appreciation for our teachers in school. But however, going forward, if we're not able to return in the fall because no one knows, they're still up in the air, no one knows. If we're not able to return in the fall due to an extension of the shelter in place, I would still pursue math being taught by someone else, and then and maybe English, but I'm okay doing the rest. I think it's given me the yes, I can do it ability. I'm not taking place of a teacher. They do schooling. They are legit. I'm saying, like, I appreciate for teachers. My
Absolutely.
mom, teacher, relative, teachers, but I can do I'm talking elementary, like 8th grade and below. High school's a new ball game, and you can speak to that. But for me, I think that the perspective is I have a new appreciation for teachers, and but it hasn't been that different overall.
So what would you say to somebody who is suddenly in a situation where they find themselves crisis schooling at this point?
You can do this, especially elementary school. You can do there are lots of curriculum or not. You can curriculum or not. But this is the time to really pursue what are your child's strengths and weaknesses, and how you can cultivate. If you have a faith-based relationship, then you can really do devotionals and things like that. I would say you can do it. I guess the short answer is there's assistance out there. There's people, there are teachers, there are veteran teachers out there also on Facebook that'll say, hey, I'm here if you need me. My mom's one of those, and other homeschooling moms like yourself who have been doing this for 12 years. I'd say reach out. It's possible. I appreciate the school and I appreciate the teachers, but I also know that it can be done from home.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So you said that you're currently working from home as well. And how's that going for you?
It's going good because it's just a small amount of hours that are needed from me at this point. So I'm able to keep an hour or two in the beginning of the week and have time to help the kids with their school, teach Rylan her school, or help Kale with his English mostly. That's his night, but
right.
That will change. Yeah. I mean, we're used to working. Conrad's used to working from home. So he has a job, but he's working from home. It just fits our lifestyle.
Right. Yeah.
We're home people.
So your husband is working from home, but he normally works from home. So how is that, has the dynamics of your family changed since all of you are together 24/7? You're not constantly leaving every day to go take a child somewhere. I mean, I know that you're home a lot, but at the same time, you are actually able to get out and go somewhere. And maybe even that drive on a normal basis was kind of like your, and you don't really have that right now. So the fact that all 4 of you are home now 24/7, your husband's working from home, how is that even for him while he's working from home, having you guys home 24/7?
I think because we each have a room, and he can be upstairs in the bedroom or he can be in the office. We'll just alternate, switch. So everybody has a space. I say that because I know you don't. And I feel bad. I feel guilty. We have a space, and I've started walking more to get myself out if I need to get out. That's what I'll do. But yeah, there hasn't been any change. I'm trying to think. We have our rooms and we have our corners that we can go to, and then we can take a break. We can go outside. I mean, I can take a walk by myself, or I can call you for a walk. I don't really feel hindered in that area.
Cool. That's good. So, how has social distancing affected you the most?
I used to every Sunday go to my parents' house. My mom and I we'd catch up on some shows. This Is Us, Million Little Pieces, or Million Little Things, or whatever it's called. But we would always watch those shows. I'd have dinner there, and then we watch the show. So that's been the biggest thing that I don't do, because other than that, it was taking someone to school, or we just started soccer. Poor Rylan, she just had like 4 days of soccer, and of those days it had been raining, because right before we had COVID-19, it had been raining, and so the soccer was in the gym. So the point of that is social distancing. It's just like, I don't do those intramural things, and I don't do, which I know help the kids, and then I don't go to my mom's. That's the biggest thing. Like, I was trying to rack my brain. Like, I miss the freedom to be able to go out just for the sake of going out and not having to worry about gloves or masks or staying away. But on the flip side, it makes me think about other countries that did not enjoy the freedoms that we had prior to COVID-19. You know, I mean, we're still a free country. I mean, you technically, I guess, can go outside without a mask and cough everywhere. That's your freedom, but it's highly frowned upon. I mean, the government, they might, I don't know. Because
right, it's not a law that we have to. It's just highly. It just depends too. I've noticed that, like, it's suggested, but it's not. Like, they say that, you know, it's great to wear a mask, but it doesn't necessarily protect you. So.
Right. Or yeah, it brings awareness that we're in a crisis. Or, I mean, it's like, you can look both ways before you cross the street, or you don't have to. Are you an idiot, you know, and you just keep walking, or are you going to take the smart road and go, yeah, I think I'm going to look right or left to see if I can cross? I think it's just using just common sense, you know, like just being, and being respectful to others, really is what it is. Like, when I went the other day to the store, and I'm like, you know what? I feel ridiculous in this mask, you know, and I feel ridiculous with my gloves. But the truth, and I haven't, you know, I don't have, or as far as I know, I don't have COVID, and nobody in my family has COVID. But I do that because I don't want to bring anything back for my family. I do that because I want everybody to know, hey, I'm in this. I'm going to take this seriously, you know, especially those
and
healthcare workers that are like, hey, I'm here at my job in the hospital, missing my family. So you stay at home, you know.
Right. And I think that maybe that's one thing about it too, is it's not necessarily protecting you. Like, the mask isn't necessarily protecting you 100% from any particles that can come through. But if I'm wearing a mask that I don't normally wear, then I am like, my senses are heightened, because I am constantly aware that I'm wearing this mask. Oh, I'm wearing this mask. Oh yeah. And I'm wearing it because, instead of just, you know, because I will go into the store and, you know, get my buggy, and I'm like, you know, and I get into the zone of buying or whatever, and I suddenly forget what's going on. So I think that, you know, with us wearing the mask, or, you know, taking other precautions, then it kind of helps us to constantly be aware of what we're doing, instead of like trying to, like, you know, spread or whatever, you know.
Right. And I'm not touching my face because the mask's in the way, or my glasses are in the way, you know.
Right.
So.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So, so you talked about how you usually go to your mom's house on, you know, Sunday evenings, and you guys hang out, watch movies or videos. You know, This Is Us, which is amazing. I think that everybody will probably agree with that. But how do you feel like how has social distancing affected your extended family? Like, how are they dealing with it, and maybe not being able to get together with you?
I don't think they care. No, I'm just kidding. I was like, that is a good question. Nobody seems to really mind. Like, nobody's like crying. My mom will call. I mean, she'll call me the most. I mean, I try to talk to my brothers, or FaceTime my brothers. But I was like, no one really seems to mind. We FaceTime, we Marco Polo. That's what we do a lot. My mom and I do Marco Polo a lot. We did
What
have
is Marco Polo?
Marco Polo is the app that it's like you can send a video message to somebody, kind of like Voxer with the voice, but it's a video. And I can say, hey, Tiffany, blah, 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 blah. And I send it to you. And then you can find that it's like a text, but video style, that you can see any other time that you want. Like, if you're not available to chat, and I might just want to say, hey, it's a face-to-face text, or it's a face text, really, a video text.
So it's kind of like FaceTime, but you're recording it and sending it for for them to watch at their convenience. So
Right.
it's just something that they can watch. It's not like getting out on social media where other people can
Right.
see it too.
Right. It's not like FaceTime itself where we're actually or Zoom where we're actually carrying on a conversation in real time. But
Right.
this is like maybe it's sometime I just want to say something to my friend. And plus it's nice to just stare at yourself and go, hey, so this is what I'm thinking today. You know, you just do all these things.
So it's kind
But
of like
then
TikTok.
yeah, I guess. I mean,
Oh my gosh.
I think but
Hopefully a little more secure than TikTok.
yeah, probably. Well, probably. But I see lots of people on Marco Polo now. We used it before COVID-19 for our PTF. We wanted to get something out. And we're like, hey, here's a message. It's nice to see somebody's face, other than like Voxer, where you just hear their voice message kind of thing. But we do Marco Polo. We did have a birthday parade drive-by for my brother Eric on Saturday, and I wore that horse mask. I can't talk. And that was fun to see my family, you know, from a distance as well, and then other friends of Eric's. And then so as far as like nobody's coming over here to me, which is fine. But Rylan and I go to my nephew and niece, their kindergarten and preschool. We do driveway theater for them. So I'll call my sister-in-law, and so she knows she stands the kids are watching from their windows. They're inside, and I'll say, "Hey, I'm on my way." And Rylan and I will just drive over there, and sometimes we wear the horse mask, sometimes we'll have props, and we'll do like Little Red Riding Hood. We acted it out. We'll do a poem, we'll do a song or a game, and so it's just like 3 small things. We're there less than 10 minutes. And the kids are laughing. We're interacting with them through the window, and they like that. So that's been the most exciting thing, is to get creative with ways that you can't be close proximity with people. So we're still distancing. We're being social, but we're physically distancing.
Mm-hmm. I can just see her neighbors kind of like going, there's
the first time we did it,
that family again.
the first time we did it, there's a friend of hers, I guess she was walking her kids in the stroller, and she was saying hi to my sister-in-law, and then we started acting it out, and she's like, oh, can I stay and watch? And I'm like, sure. Like, we were flying up by the seat of our pants at this point, because we really didn't. This is our first time we're doing it. And we had those horse masks, and we had like a transformer sword and another kind of sword, and it looked like we were fighting, and we're just being crazy.
But then you probably also have those other neighbors who are going, I'll have what they're having.
Exactly. Well, she likes it, and the kids like it too. So then it's just a way for us to see them. I mean, sure, we could FaceTime, but this is more fun. This is more fun going over there, and we get Rylan. That's part of her schooling too. Sometimes she'll write it out. We will act it out. We're gonna memorize it.
I think that's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome. Absolutely awesome. So what do you think has been the hardest part of this for you?
FOMO.
Really?
Yeah, well, okay, so
I really FOMO? I never ever saw that coming with you.
Okay.
Never. Really?
Okay, hold on, let me preface it. First, the hardest part is not being able to run to the store for wine at random. That's really the hardest part. But getting back to FOMO, see, I want to squeeze every bit of time out of this gift of time that we have, right? Mm-hmm. You know, we've been I know you and I talk about letting yes be yes and no be no. We talk about how to, you know, if you're saying yes to one thing, you're saying no to the other. So this is like an automatic no. Like, this is the universe helping me say no. I mean universe. I don't mean universe. You know what I'm saying? But it sounds whatever. But so it's helping me say no to everything else. And but at the same time, okay, let me repeat this. Hold on. I want to squeeze the most out of this time. So I fight wanting to put all my time in one area. Okay, so it's like, should I spend all my time with my kids because I'm home, because I can? Or should I be doing all my DIY house projects that I see my neighbors doing and online, you know, Facebook they're doing? Or should I catch up on binge watching Netflix, my private practice? show? Do I catch up on reading? Praying? Oh my gosh, I should be praying nonstop, or reading the scriptures. So it's finding balance, and then that's why FOMO. Like I have fear of missing out. Oh, I'm not doing all my projects. Oh my garage is still messy. It's not. It's okay. But So as a peacemaker on a 9 on the Enneagram, I want to make sure everyone else in my family is doing well. So I check in with their feelings. How are you doing? You doing okay? You getting time with your friends? Are they eating? Are they doing their schoolwork? Are they doing their chores? Are they getting outside? And then okay. So the hardest part is making sure that I have time for myself. If that makes any sense.
Absolutely does.
All to say.
Yeah, all that totally makes sense. I think, you and I channel the same on a lot of different things, but that totally makes sense. And making time for the family. And, I don't want to get out of this and suddenly look back and go, man, I had like 8 weeks to do blah, and I didn't even do that. Or, and I'm not even talking like, home projects or anything, even though my husband would probably argue with that. But that's not even like what I'm really talking about. Like, 8 weeks of seeing my kids or having a big conversation with them every day or whatever. I think we're at the point now, though, to where we're not even really saying good morning and good night, like, because we literally see each other like 24/7, like everybody is right now. We're at the point where I'm just like, oh, you again, So I think that if I was to act on all those things, I probably should have acted on them before now, because because now I'm at the point where I'm just like, oh, hey, you're still here.
Right. It's like in the Bible, with Joshua, the sun stands still. It's like now we have like time standing still. People joke Groundhog Day, and or the whole doing it again. I'm like, yeah, it's just the time is suddenly stopped, and it's like you're saying, oh, it's you again. You're still here. Are you still in my household? Haven't you graduated yet? Haven't you? I'm like, are you done with this?
Yeah. I get it. Okay, so I have a couple more questions for you. And these next 3, I actually did not put on the list on purpose.
Oh wait,
because I want to know, the very first thing that pops in your head when I ask you these questions. All right. Okay. So you ready? It's going to be like one of those, I'm going to hold up a picture and you have to say the first thing that pops in your head. Okay. And remember, this is a family-friendly podcast. But honestly, not a lot of kids are going to be watching or even care. So, all right. So the first question I have for you, spontaneous question with a spontaneous answer, would be, what is something that you miss the most?
Starbucks. That's just okay. But I had Starbucks the other day. I guess miss the most is just
Starbucks.
Yeah, Starbucks.
These don't have to be like deep answers. I just like the first thing that pops in your brain. Starbucks.
Okay.
Okay. What do you miss the least?
I was going to say being with people. Because I'm an introvert and I'm happy by myself. And so you said miss the least was like, PTF meetings.
All right. I have one more question for you. Well, one more spontaneous question. I have more questions, but one more spontaneous question I have for you. How many times has Amazon visited your house in the past month?
Actually, just twice. Once for ink, and then once because I ordered a book, and it was like, "Hey, we're gonna get it to you on May the 3rd." I'm like, okay, and then they came like 2 days later. I'm like, yeah. So they've only twice. It's really been twice.
That reminds me, I ordered something for my mom and I had it sent to her, but it wasn't going to be, this was like, I don't know, maybe like a month ago, 3 weeks ago. And it wasn't going to be delivered until like April 23rd, I think it said. So then like 2 days later, she called me and she said, I got the product. And I was like, really? They said it wasn't going to be delivered till April 23rd. The next day I got a message that it had shipped. And the next day I got a message that it had arrived. I'm like, Okay.
Really, what is the word? I have no idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really before you even think it.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, what do you think that you have learned during this period of time that you would like to carry forward?
Um, I want to meditate and listen to the Lord more. I want to pray more, but also the listening, that's a big like soul care is what I want to carry forward, is what I'm saying. And I want to listen to people in listen to people in general, really hear them, because this is a time to, we're all in this together. We're all hurting at some level, or we're all happy on some level. And I just want to, I guess, validating people. I want to really listen to people,
That's good. That's really good. I like that.
except for my kids. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't have time for you. No, I'm just kidding. Mhm.
Well, you're doing that right now in the season, right? So when the season is over, you no longer have to do that, right? You're like, been there, done that. Hey, I took care of you. Like now it's time for me to go and listen. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So do you find that you have been able to find new adventure during this time?
Yes, in the fact of creek exploration. Like we actually got out to the creek several times, and I've always been kind of like, I didn't want to be the mom that would restrict my kids in their creativity with anything. So, and I didn't want to control their exploration side by going, be careful, don't do that, don't climb too high. But now I'm like, oh no, get it, no, down, climb from that no trips to the ER. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
No, do not go. Yeah. We don't want to go to the ER right now.
so now while we are exploring that way, we're just trying to get outside more, or we made games on our driveway, or so adventures are just around the house. Oh, we did have Easter egg hunt inside flashlight. We did it. I hid them at night, and they had to use a flashlight. So that was kind of adventure.
Wow. That's fun.
But the biggest excitement adventure was going to the aside from the recent grocery store trip where I had toilet paper, was the mobile ordering from Chick-fil-A and Starbucks. Like the new Starbucks is open.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's open from 6:30 in the morning to 12:30 to noon, the afternoon.
Okay.
Super friendly people. They're wearing their masks. They've got everything. But I'm like, they're like, hi, welcome to Starbucks. This is Justin. What is your name? I'm like, I'm April. They're just like so happy and excited. Like somebody's coming to the drive-through.
That's awesome.
They're very nice. So
I didn't realize they were open. I knew that they were ready to be open just when all this hit. And I thought, oh, great. And I think that they opened maybe like a week before or something.
Yeah, about 4
And then
days.
I was thinking they had to close down, but I guess not. Okay.
Yeah,
I guess they're essential. They're considered essential, right?
But only like that for that small time, small morning hours. So we go there and just drive there and just sit in the parking lot.
We could walk there.
Yeah. Oh, we could walk there. That's way better.
That would be good. We should totally do that.
Wear our horse masks. I have an extra one.
Yeah. Nobody in our neighborhood will call the police on that.
They're weirdos. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So how are you transforming your attitude during this situation?
Well, I'm trying to be mindful of what I allow into my mind, because I could easily go, who is the one that started all this? You go through the motions of anger, grief, all that, anyway, so yeah, I'm just trying to be more mindful, getting back to contemplative prayer, trying to stay positive for my family and encourage them and others. And checking COVID-19 memes, like the one that we were talking about before we recorded. I'm glad I didn't waste money on a 2020 planner. Just like fun. Or the one with Wonder Woman, like Linda Carter version, and then My Life After Quarantine, the heavy set Wonder Woman. Those really help.
Yeah, and okay, so this is really funny. April just brought up a really good point. So if you guys have been listening to Tea of Life podcast for a while, you know that April is like a planner hog, basically. She loves planners, and she will have more than one at a time.
Oh, yes.
She will review them, she will buy them. And I'm not talking like your, dollar store planners here. I'm talking like expensive planners that you have to order online and have it shipped to you kind of thing.
I just wanted to tell you what came in the mail this week. I'm very excited about it. This is the Panda Planner.
About like 2 weeks maybe before all this hit, I was like, hey, I think I need a planner, and I'm not a planner person. Like I have my stuff on my Google Calendar, and that's, and I write stuff on sticky notes and stick it all around my house, which is probably not the best thing either. But I thought, you know what? I need a planner. I'm going to have to just write all this stuff down and just block all these things out. So I went online, bought my first planner, and that was like 2 weeks before everything got shut down. So I don't even know where my planner is. It's around here somewhere.
Mine's empty.
And it's like, here's my planner. Here's my planner. 2020 planner.
Pretty, yeah.
Here's my planner. Completely empty. Like there's nothing in my planner.
I know. I still sticker it up and I still write things in it, but it's like days where I'm like, it's blank. It's a life source. It's an extension of my personality, of me. It is, and it is an extension of me.
Yeah.
Because I love them. I even mark these little tabs I put on there, and they have the weeks, so I can just flip through it easily.
I didn't even get the tabs on mine. And I actually, okay, so I asked you if you would help me put the tabs on it. And I literally could hear you giggling from your house to my house. Like you were like so excited because you
and then quarantine happened. You know what? I'm sad because I need a new journal and I literally have like 3 pages left to write. And it's like almost, you know how you're using everyone is using toilet paper sparingly. It's like that. I'm like, writing super tiny, like today's date. I'm like, okay, that's all I can commit for today.
You can buy a new journal.
Well, the reason that I have to go to Walmart.
Right. You can't just order it online. You have to go and feel it and sniff it.
No,
and touch it and turn the pages.
No.
And you don't want to sniff anything in the stores right now. So.
You don't want to touch anything.
It's hard to do that with a unicorn mask on.
I know, right? But I looked online. I went through to all 25 pages of Walmart's journals, and I don't know where this particular one is because it's like hardcover, acid-free. There's like 150 pages, and it's, whatever. So I actually have to go to Walmart, and I never, ever go to Walmart on purpose or on not purpose.
No kidding. I am not a Walmart fan either.
In fact, the last time I was there to buy that journal, I was like, I should probably buy 2.
You could probably just put it online and be like, hey, next time anybody's at Walmart, can you pick this up for me? Put the red piece of paper, like our neighborhood, did the, here it is right here. This is actually kind of cool. So our neighborhood did this thing where you've like put a different color paper. You see, I obviously haven't participated either.
Just be a part of the community.
So you put like, different color, which I think this is great. I thought it was a great idea and I've been meaning to participate. I just haven't.
Yeah. More people are doing it. We got our.
Yeah. So you could put the red one and be like, I need a new journal from Walmart. Cause it says like, if you need somebody to shop for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no, the yellow is help with errands. So.
What does red mean?
It means I need an emergency. I need help.
What's wrong with 911?
Or
maybe they just I have no idea. Whatever.
Okay, so my last question for you. Are you ready for this?
Yes, I am ready.
I need a drum thing, whatever. I don't have. Yeah. So okay.
I'm just married to a professional drummer.
I'm only married to a professional drummer. I don't drum. I'm just I was sorry. Something popped in my head that was totally not appropriate. Okay. Sorry. I'm having a hard time filtering right now and things are coming out that should not be coming out. And it's just inappropriate stuff. And so I asked Brandon something the other day, and I said, "Do you think this is appropriate if I put this on Facebook?" And his answer was, first of all, if you have to ask if something is appropriate, then it's probably not. So if you have to ask, is this appropriate? Then it's probably not appropriate. It's like, okay, I probably should not, but hey, at least I asked.
Right.
So. I know, right? What is one thing that you would like to leave everyone with, and something that you hope transforms their attitudes as well?
That is a good question. That is a good question. I have actually have two things because they're really small. One is watch SGN, Some Good News with John Krasinski. If you haven't seen it
Oh,
already,
I heard of that. Okay.
on YouTube, it's episode 3, and I love Jim. I love John Krasinski, so watch that. And that's a little bit of hope. He puts the hope in seeing all the good. We see a lot of bad news. This is all the good news. And the second thing is I thought, I want to try to be creative, and I want to try to get my words in a song. And I was like, no, there's already been a song created, and that kid-friendly version is "Stay the Heck at Home." You can Google that. It's really not
Okay.
that, but the song
I haven't heard that.
"Stay the Heck at Home," kid-friendly version, YouTube sums it all up. That's fun. But in all seriousness, I want to say, be kind to one another. Use this gift of time wisely. Strive to be the best human you can be. Respect others. Take time to be social, FaceTime, Marco Polo, but keep a physical distance. Be a part of your community. Put your colored sheet up on your window to show people your status. That was for you. And then stay at home and wear your darn mask if you have to go out. That's pretty a lot, but just some good news, John Krasinski, and that kid-friendly version of "Stay the Heck at Home."
That's awesome.
That will help you. That will help everybody get in a good mood, I think, and transform their attitude.
Cool. That's awesome. I'm going to have to definitely look all those up, and I'll put links to all those also in our show notes as well, so that people can follow those and see what those are all about as well. Thank you for agreeing to be on this video call for me, and for supporting our audience and helping them, transform their attitudes, and and even telling your adventure, telling each adventure of life. So we really appreciate you and all you do for Tea of Life podcast. And thanks for being here today.
Well, thank you. It was an honor. I appreciate being asked.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that's it for today. And we'll talk to you next time.